Terrific. Thanks everyone for coming along this morning, and I'm joined by the Minister for Tourism, Sport and Major Events, and also Professor Alan Cheng. So you'll hear from the three of us, and then happy to answer any questions. So I'll take you through the latest in terms of the cases and vaccines and testing. So there are 2 new locally acquired cases of coronavirus, bringing the total number of active cases linked to this outbreak to 70. Plus 2 who have recovered. There are also 6 new cases in hotel quarantine. Both of the new community cases are known primary close contacts of existing outbreaks, so that's a good thing. One new case is another employee of the Port Melbourne finance company in their 50s who has been isolating for the entirety of their infectious period. The other new case is a teacher from the primary school linked to the West Melbourne outbreak. Yesterday, we continue to see very strong numbers at our testing and vaccination sites. 19,940 people came forward to be vaccinated, which is a record for a weekend day, really pleasing to see, and 29,816 people came forward for testing. Again, another strong number for the weekend. So I want to thank everyone who has stepped up and done the right thing for our community. Every test, every vaccine, every check-in makes a difference and gets us to where we need to be. And to that end, workers in residential disability settings and private aged care have an additional day on Monday to make the most of their priority vaccination blitz, which you heard from the Minister for Health yesterday. They can visit the website coronavirus.vic.gov.au to see where to go for priority walk-up vaccinations. And in a few days' time, as we've already announced, we'll see Ambulance Victoria staff there too for their priority vaccination blitz. In terms of the outbreaks, our public health teams are continuing to chase down every possible lead to find their origin, particularly the Delta variant, and Professor Cheng can speak to that shortly. Again, we're calling on the public to assist us by checking the exposure sites on the coronavirus website and coming forward for testing if you have even the slightest hint of symptoms. Public health teams are also focusing on Craigieburn Central Shopping Centre and a number of other large retail settings just like it. Text messages will go out today to people in Craigieburn and surrounds, reminding them to get tested if they have any symptoms. We want to cast the net far and wide, and that's how we will know that we're on top of this. In terms of the announcement that we're making today, over the course of the week, we've announced over $460 million of business support. And we promised that we would come back to provide further support, additional support for tourism and accommodation operators. This is particularly important because for a period of time we will have different settings between metropolitan Melbourne and regional Victoria, and that will include over the period of the long weekend. So we knew that this is tough on everyone. It's tough on all businesses. It's a particularly tough period for tourism and accommodation. So to that end, today we're announcing a $32.2 million package. It's made up of $16 million to provide a further round of the very popular regional tourism vouchers. So there'll be a further round of 80,000 vouchers, $11.8 million, which is the tourism supplement top-up of $4,500. So for all tourism operators across Victoria, in addition to the business support, this will mean that tourism operators will receive $7,000 in additional support. And finally, $4.4 million for the Alpine support package. And this is an acknowledgement that, you know, when you think about the ski season and the disruption in terms of the lockdown and a period of time of restricted travel for Melburnians, this is particularly disproportionately going to impact on our Alpine resorts and all of the tourism operators who support that. So there's grants of up to $15,000 for on-mountain operators and $5,000 for off-mountain tourism operators linked to the ski season. So to go through some of the detail, I'll ask Marty to come forward, and then after Marty, we'll hear from Professor Cheng, and then happy to answer any questions.